The irritation we feel when someone doesn't love or care for us often stems from deep emotional and psychological factors. At the core, humans are social beings who thrive on connection, validation, and affection. Here are some key reasons why we might feel irritated or hurt by someone who doesn't love us back. Unmet expectations. When we care for or love someone, we naturally hope or expect them to reciprocate. If they don't, it creates a mismatch between our expectations and reality, leading to frustration. We often feel that if we invest in someone emotionally, we should get something in return. When this doesn't happen, it can feel unfair, triggering irritation or anger. Need for validation. Love and affection from others validate our sense of worth. When someone doesn't love us, it can make us question our value, leading to insecurity and irritation. Rejection, even if subtle, taps into our fear of being unwanted or unloved. This fear can manifest as irritation, especially when we are not sure how to process those deeper emotions. Insecurity and ego. When someone doesn't return our affection, it can bruise our ego. We might interpret their lack of love as a personal failure, which leads to defensiveness and irritation. Sometimes irritation is a defense mechanism that protects us from feeling rejected. We get angry at the person instead of acknowledging our vulnerability. Cognitive dissonance. When we believe someone loves us based on how we feel about them or how we perceive ourselves, but they don't, it creates cognitive dissonance. The mental discomfort caused by holding two conflicting thoughts, I deserve love, and they don't love me, can lead to feelings of irritation or frustration. Attachment styles. People with an anxious attachment style may feel more threatened by a lack of love or emotional closeness, and this anxiety often surfaces as irritation. Their need for constant reassurance might make them more sensitive to signs of emotional distance. If someone has been hurt or abandoned in the past, they might be especially sensitive to someone not loving them, even if it's not intentional. Emotional investment and vulnerability. When we love, we often open ourselves up and become vulnerable. If this vulnerability isn't met with equal love or care, it can feel like a betrayal, even if the person hasn't intentionally hurt us. The discomfort of being vulnerable and not receiving love in return can lead to frustration. The need for control can often play a significant role in our emotional landscape. Some people feel uncomfortable when they cannot control the emotions or reactions of others. If we can't influence how someone feels about us, it can make us feel powerless, leading to irritation. Additionally, there's the desire for reciprocity. We may believe that relationships should be based on mutual feelings and effort. When we feel like the other person isn't holding up their end of the emotional deal, it can feel frustrating. This sense of imbalance can further contribute to our irritation. Projection. Sometimes irritation arises because we're projecting our own unresolved emotional needs onto the other person. We expect them to meet those needs, but when they don't, because they may not even know about them, we get upset. The real issue is often internal, but it's easier to place the blame externally. Cultural or societal expectations. Society often places a high value on romantic love, and we might feel pressure to be loved or to maintain relationships that fit societal standards. When we don't receive the love we expect, it can feel like we're failing to live up to these external standards, causing irritation. Unresolved emotional wounds. Sometimes a person's lack of love taps into unresolved emotional wounds from our past, like childhood neglect or abandonment. The intensity of the irritation might actually be linked to deeper unresolved pain rather than just the present situation. In summary, our irritation when someone doesn't love us can be driven by a combination of unmet emotional needs, a wounded ego, feelings of rejection, and societal pressures. It often reflects not just our disappointment with the other person, but also our internal struggles with validation, self-worth, and vulnerability.